Hello, my name is Heidi Riley. I'm the instructor for the Cosmetology Department at Northwest Community College on the Oxford, Mississippi campus. And I'm making this video today so you can understand a few things about cosmetology to make a good decision to come into the program. I could spend some time telling you about all the fun that you can have in cosmetology, especially if this is truly your calling. But fun is not usually what will get you into trouble with cosmetology. So I'm going to talk about a few points where it could actually affect you in a negative way, and also some things to let you know about that people just don't realize because this is a career tech program. So I'll start off with the fact that it is a career tech program. It is not an academic program, and the program is referred to as a clock hour or a clock-based program, meaning it's 1,500 hours. And so you will not finish until you complete 1,500 hours. An example of that would be versus academic is if you went into a college algebra program, you're probably given 6 absences, 3 absences, and those absences don't have to necessarily be made up. Your work maybe have to be made up, but the absences aren't. Whereas in the career tech cosmetology program, because we are a clock-based program, if you miss 1 minute, then you have to make that up. You are given a certain number of absences. However, every minute you are absent or not on the clock, you would actually have to come in and make those hours up at some point. I also need to let you know, because some students come in and they have been in an academic program and they've been allowed to kind of pick and choose their classes. And so when you're looking online and you're seeing your classes listed, you'll see 5 different ones. Usually nail care, skin care, hair care, cosmetology, science, orientation, like that. Whereas in academic, you might see math and English and all. Our program is Monday through Friday. It is from 7:30 in the a.m. That's when we start our program, okay? And then we stop at 4 p.m. and that's when you start cleaning up and getting ready to go. And so a lot of students they've been in an academic program where they've been able to pick and choose Monday, Wednesday, Friday classes, or Tuesday, Thursday. So we want you to know it is Monday through Friday, and we start at 7:30 a.m. That means you have to park, gather your stuff, come into class, and clock in and get your items ready and be prepared for class at 7:30 a.m. We're going to work all day, every day. We don't ever leave early, hardly ever. It's very rare. And we work until 4 p.m. and then we'll stop, we'll clean up, and then we'll leave. So how fast you clean after 4 will determine how soon you get out of class. We have 2 breaks, one in the morning, one in the afternoon. They're 15 minutes each. And then we have a lunch. We usually take that around 11:15. It just depends on what's going on during the day. And so it's really like a full-time job, okay? We're going to have absences that you're allowed to take, but just as a reminder, you do have to make up the time. We also will allow so many tardies, or a combination of absences and tardies. School is going to be approximately for you 16 weeks in the fall 2020 semester. Again, we are a career tech program and not an academic. So we will follow the academic calendar for holidays and all, but sometimes we have to go a little longer than what the academic calendar actually states. I'll talk to you about that when you're in the program and you're coming to orientation. But you get 6 absentees over a 16-week period. And so that doesn't sound like a lot, and it's not a lot. We have a strict standard for absentee policies because we're training you to be at work, okay? We have 2 classroom settings. We have a very large area back there in our cosmetology department, and we refer to them as the classroom and the lab. So those 2 class settings are referred to in the cosmetology world as theory and practical. So the theory one is more traditional classroom. That's where you come in, you're in class on time, sitting down. You're listening to me give lecture or talk about whatever the topic may be. You're going to have a real textbook, a hardback book. You'll also have an electronic book that if you're at home or working on the computer, you can also access that. You'll have 2 workbooks. You'll have assignments. You'll have projects. And at night, you'll have homework and things to study for. We also have online apps and programs that will be utilized. At your desk, everybody has their own computer at the desk to work with. And so we stay in there like traditional classroom and all. Then we transition usually over into the lab, which is what's referred to in the cosmetology world as the practical portion. The practical lab is where you practice to do the physical things that you will do in a salon. Rolling perms, doing haircuts, foils, balayages, anything like that. And so you'll first practice on your mannequins. Okay. Sometimes you'll practice on fellow students. Now, we won't make you get things done, but we'll allow you to get things done. And so hopefully, you'll have fun with doing that as well. And at some point, not in the early part of your career here, but at some point you will get to a certain number of hours and you'll actually transition into working on live clients. Okay. And so that's the practical. I hope that eventually, after you reply to the email that you got this link in, that we'll be able to set up a small group of y'all at a time coming in for a face-to-face or a one-on-one orientation. We'll let you know the date, which will be very soon, because there's a lot more things you need to know about, such as getting a uniform and items that you'll need for class and all, and that I'll go over with you in a format. And so I'm hoping to have several appointments available for you. So I realize some of you may still be working, or maybe you don't actually live in Oxford. And so when you actually respond to the email, we'll get back in touch with you. We'll have, for example, I may have a time at 7:30 a.m. I may have one at 11 a.m. I'll have another one at 4. I'll have one possibly even at 6 and 7 in the evening. So whatever your schedule is, you just think about maybe that last week in July, some time that you'll have available, and I will make time to get with you to make sure that you understand all the finer points of being in our program. I look forward to meeting you, and I hope this has been informative for you.